Hi everyone. All right, today we are going to talk about the basics. So before we get into more complex things like transportation and food and pretty much everything, ticketing, you name it, I want to go over the apps you need because a lot of stuff that I'm going to be talking about, you need these apps to get these things or to help better yourself while you're in Korea. So I made us a little presentation. As these videos are new, let me know how you guys like the format. Let me know if you want me to present it a different way or a different style. Everything that I list in here, I will also have listed in the description below. Any links, anything that I talk about will be down there. So let's get started. All right, first app is Klook. Klook. I really don't know how to pronounce it. However, it is basically like a Groupon app, but for traveling. So you can book tours, sightsee, sometimes it has coupons. I mainly use it for airport transportation and then Wi-Fi devices and SIM cards when I am traveling out of country. So I use the eSIM, especially when I was in Australia. It's a really nice app to use and kind of go around it and see what it can offer you. Next is going to be Naver. So this one is really important. Google, you can Google things while you're in Korea, but the platform Google, like Google Maps, things like that, it doesn't work. So they don't use Google. They don't use Google reviews, things like that. Naver is going to be the main search engine for Korea. You will use Naver to make reservations, especially when your faves do pop-up events. This is how you get those reservations. I will do a separate video on Naver because you actually have to get authenticated with being international because we don't have a phone number in Korea. We have to use our passport, and sometimes that can be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to make sure that I teach you guys how to do it before your trip and before you need to make a reservation. There are two main map apps in Korea, Naver Maps and Kakao Maps. I will talk about Kakao Maps later, but I prefer Naver Maps. It is really in-depth with its descriptions. It also promotes mom and pop businesses. Overall, it's been shown to just be more tourist friendly and international friendly. I really like it. It also gives you the ability to make different lists. So cafes can be a separate list, your restaurants can be one list, hotels another. It lets you color coordinate them, which I love. All right. Next is going to be Kakao Talk or KKT. So that is going to be a Korean texting app. It's really useful for making reservations and appointments. A lot of times they'll use those instead of texting or calling, especially if you don't have an international or a Korean phone number. Also, just a side note, if you're like me and are really particular about the colors of your apps, I know that sounds really silly, but you can actually go into the app and you can customize it. So down here, this is actually mine. It's purple, has a whole different character on it, and I can show you guys how to do that. It's pretty simple. All right, the next is Kakao Taxi. So there's two different taxiing apps you can use, and I'll talk about Uber later, but you can also have Kakao Taxi. This is my personal favorite. This is the one I use. You do need a Kakao account for it. It's really easy to get one, especially if you have Kakao Talk. You're gonna have a Kakao account. You're able to pay with Cash Card and Team Money Card. I'll explain Team Money Cards later at the end of your drive, so you don't have to pay it in-app. There is an option, and again, I'm going to go in more in depth in some of these apps and show you tutorials on how to do it. Also, Kakao Taxi is really, really affordable. I can go completely across Seoul for $10, and if you share it with others, it's really, really inexpensive. I think my most expensive taxi was 71,000 won, which is roughly $60, and that was to the airport. So, and that's a 2-hour drive. And then just a little bonus tip, if you are coming from an event, so at Gocheok-dong or Kispo-dong, walk 5 minutes down the street and then call it. It'll be cheaper and it'll be faster. You won't be sitting there waiting. The next app I'm going to suggest is Papago. So Google Translate works, but it really doesn't conjugate well. It doesn't give you the greatest translations, and sometimes it's just dead wrong. I have had the most luck with Papago. I really, really like it. It's on the spot translating. You can use your voice, conversation, you can take a picture of an image, and you can text in it. It's really great, especially when you're at concert events and maybe the person next to you speaks Chinese or Japanese. You can quickly change in the app the language that you want to translate to. And then something new that they just added is a study camera. So you can take a picture of your study notes and you can make them into flashcards, which I think is very cool. All right, next is Italki. So this is a language tutoring app. This app allows you to pick a tutor or a teacher to help you with classes. So it is pay per class. A lot of other ones like Preply, you have to buy a package. I really like that Italki lets you do it per class. When you first get on the app, you'll see teachers and their prices. That price shows you an hour. So if you click into it, you can actually see the price for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then that hour pricing. I personally suggest Joni. I have her not only in my link tree, I have her link at the bottom in the description of this video. She's absolutely fantastic. I have been taking her classes for 1.5 years, and she's incredibly patient. She's kind. She does not make you feel dumb. So if you get things wrong, absolutely, she's going to make you repeat it until you get it right. But she doesn't do it in a judgmental type of way. She's absolutely phenomenal. Even if you kind of fall off your learning and you get back to it, she's excellent. So I definitely suggest taking her classes. And then actually, if you use my link, you get $5 off your first lesson. So take her class. You know how much you love her too. She's so good. I cannot speak enough about her. All right, so the next app I'm going to talk about is Splitwise. This is not necessarily a Korea-based app. You can use this anywhere you'd like. It's basically an app just to split expenses with your friends. So you can put everything in it and you can say like, oh, this person owes this person owes this in total, but this person owes this much of it. It's pretty cool. It's a nice app. It costs $2.99 a year. I've been using it for like 3 years now. Yeah, it's a nice traveling app. All right, so the next app is Airbnb. I personally suggest staying at Airbnbs when you travel to Korea. The hotels are absolutely lovely. They're really nice, but they give you more of a tourist aspect, where Airbnb really puts you in the middle of the culture and the life. Also, you don't have to talk to anybody when you check in, which is great. For small introverts, especially when you get off that long flight, you don't want to talk to anybody. But Airbnb, I have had great experiences with it. I personally know where to stay for my Stray Kids fans, where if you stay in this building on a certain side, you can see where S-Class was filmed, which is a pretty cool view, and I can definitely help you guys book that one. There's quite a few Airbnbs in that office too, actually. The prices are really affordable, guys. For like 2 weeks, it's $700. I think the most I spent was $859, and that was my first trip, and it was because it was close to the holidays. But when you split that with people, it's nothing for 2 weeks. And also the interface is just really easy to use. Next is going to be WhatsApp. So another texting and calling platform, but a lot of places use this for reservations, especially when you're shopping designer. And I know that not a lot of people are going to be shopping designer, but if you're a clown like me and you want what your bias has, you find yourself in Fendi in the middle of Apojang for no reason at all. The client advisors will use WhatsApp to communicate with you. Also, it can be used on Wi-Fi. So if you don't get a SIM card and you're using data, or you're not using data and you want to go over to Wi-Fi, WhatsApp is great for international use, and a lot of international guests or travelers use it. All right, next is going to be Uber. So Uber does work in Korea. I personally suggest using Kakao Taxi, but it's to each their own. Kakao Taxi also is mostly in Korean, so I totally understand wanting to use Uber. And sometimes Uber is quicker. Really, it's just like here, pull up Lyft, pull up Uber, whichever one's cheaper, we go with. All right, and then Kakao Maps. This is less international friendly, but some people do prefer Kakao. If you prefer Kakao, that's totally fine. What I suggest is download both of them, get a feel for both of them, see which ones work better for you. If you like Kakao, then use Kakao. They're both at your disposal. All right, so the next app I'm going to talk about is Nominate. So this is a Team Money card, but it is a special type of Team Money card. So Team Money is for transportation. You can also use it in 7-Elevens. You can use it in CUs and GS25s. Now with normal Team Money cards, you can only top up in cash. Top up is to put more money on the card. You can only do it at these convenience stores in cash. So that kind of gets a little frustrating sometimes, especially with international debit cards. Sometimes finding an ATM that works gets a little finicky. Some just don't take international cards. But with this card, you're able to top up on your phone, which is really, really helpful. Now, you do have to get it at a specific kiosk, but they are all over Seoul. I will drop some locations on where you're able to find those. Now, for my more personalized people, you guys can do literally anything you want. So mine is a very judgmental photo of Bangchan, which I love because I feel like I'm being judged every time I spend money. It does not make me spend money less. You'd think it would, but it does just give a little chuckle. So you guys can put your bias, you can put whatever you like on the card. You also are able to use it as a regular debit card. So you can use it anywhere you'd like. And it actually has a card number, so you can use it online as well. This was a game changer when I found this app. All right, and then my last one, this I think honestly just everybody should have one. It's really, really great for international money exchange. You can buy any type of currency you'd like. So about 6 months before my trips to Korea, I will watch. And when we have really, really good exchange rate USD to won days, I'll just buy the won. I typically do $500 to $1,000 before my trip. That way you just have it at your disposal. But it's like an international version of PayPal. I know PayPal can be used internationally as well. This is just another great tool. The fees are also really, really low. You can do a very large transfer for less. The other thing with Wise, so when you are at different events, concerts, and you see all the people selling stuff like slogans and banners, most of the time they'll use Wise, either Korean Banks Transfer or Wise. So it's just a good idea to have it. I'm going to put a refer link down at the bottom just to give you guys an easy, quick sign up. But yeah, that's it. Those are the apps that I suggest you have. Start downloading now. Look into and getting before your trip to Seoul. It will make your life so much easier. If you guys have any questions at all, please let me know in the comments, DM me, message me on any platform. Please like, share, and since it's YouTube, subscribe. I really look forward to our next video. See you guys next time. Bye.